Hello, everyone. So, I was actually going to go to the gym, but I'm not. So, that means you get a video. So today is going to be one on organizing. And anyone who knows me basically knows that, well, the people who really, really know me know that I have always been that person who sees something. And I guess I later came to know this as being a visionary, but I see something and then I figure out how to get there, how to attain it, whatever. Like my mind just immediately gets to work thinking of a plan. And that's actually probably how I became a professional organizer. Although I kind of feel like I backed into this current business that I have. So, with that, having said that, this video is going to be on improving your life, improving your situation. People like to say leveling up. I'm not into gimmicky phrases like that really, but whatever. Maybe that'll be in the title. But I'm basically going to tell you how to level up through organized networking, basically by changing your scene. That's all it is. And most of us will probably discover a need to change our scene at some point. Some people may make you feel guilty about that because people don't like change, people don't like to see growth in other people. Other times it's not even that sinister. Maybe they're just used to having you in their life, and then you recognize the need to go somewhere else, do something else. You recognize that your needs extend beyond where you are right now, and you've got to find a way to get to that next place. That is when it's time to change your scene. So of course, one probably, well, I don't know, I haven't really thought about this statement, but I was gonna say the best way to change your scene is by, actually, you know what, I just thought about that, work that through in my mind in real time. Best way to change your scene, um, apart from changing your mindset, because that's first always, but mentally, spiritually prepare to make the next move. Then you change the people who surround you. And that's what this video is going to focus on. Because a lot of people, and honestly, like what made this come to mind was being on social media, seeing, this aggravates me, but just seeing people, well, why can't we ever do this? And this is why this group can't do that, and this and that, and we can never, and everybody's always, like, if you feel that way, chances are you are around the wrong people. I don't feel that way in general about groups, any group for the most part. Although, like, there's some, I won't get into that, but on the aggregate, I've never looked around. I say never. I can't think of a time when I've looked around and said, you know what, we all suck because we can never do XYZ. What I did was change my scene and got around some people who were more like minded and who could and were interested in and were willing to work toward XYZ. And that is what I recommend to everyone. It'll save you time complaining. It'll save you from feeling, I don't know if people say that because they feel hopeless or dejected or whatever, disillusioned, but changing your scene will help you avoid those things if that's the motivation for saying and feeling that way about things. Um, a lot of people feel stuck. You're not necessarily stuck, especially in this day and age when there's the internet. There are all sorts of ways to connect with people. Transportation is a little bit easier than it used to be. Maybe not in like small towns. But even still, there's like Uber and stuff like that. Whereas like, even back in the 90s, if you didn't have a car, you might be stuck somewhere. If you're in a place that didn't have public transit or like people who could give you rides and things. I say all that to say that changing your scene is probably easier now than it's ever been. And that's why we need to get to, all the different ways you can do that in this video. So, whether your motivation for feeling stuck or feeling like you're in the wrong place or around the wrong people, um, whether your motivations are financial, whether they're activism, whether they're, just like social circle. Sometimes you feel like you're not mentally stimulated by the people you're working with or the people who are around you, your family maybe even, or maybe they all have one lifestyle and you have a different one. And you need to change your scene because maybe you're trying to change yourself. Hopefully you're trying to improve and become the best version of yourself. And you're going to need people who are also in that direction, headed in that direction, some people who are already there who can help you and tell you how they got there. All of this stuff is important. And yes, you can read about it. Yes, you could. I hate the myth that I say this for personal reasons because there's this dumb ex-friend. Did I just say that? There's this person I used to be friends with who said crap to me basically to justify a very long deep story, but she basically said to me, we were talking about school years ago though, and she said, well, maybe because you're so bright and gifted, you should just stay where you are, or you should have stayed where you were and you shouldn't have gone to a better school basically, because and you shouldn't have gone to a better school because that way you could have been an example for the people where you were. I do not talk to that person anymore because it's that exact mindset. The reason she said that, and the fragments I'm giving of this conversation might not make sense, but we're adults at this point having this conversation. She wanted her child to get into a certain school, and I went to that type of school, and she said that people like myself shouldn't go to better schools because we're already gifted and talented, and we should let people like her child who clearly wasn't getting in because she wasn't qualified, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, you'll have people try to bring up all sorts of reasons why you shouldn't do what's best for you and why you shouldn't better yourself. And that is why I don't believe in people sticking around longer than they have to once they're ready to go. Once they've outgrown a situation, you got to move on, just like a turtle that outgrows its shell. Do they do that? There's some animal that outgrows its shell and moves to another one. Whatever. If that doesn't exist, let's pretend it does. Although I'm sure there are animals that do that. Anyway, yeah, so that's what that is. And you don't feel guilty don't be a jerk to people. Ever. You never are really justified in being a jerk to someone who has never been a jerk to you. For the most part. But yeah, but sorry, a notification just popped up. But yeah, it's perfectly okay, and for the love of all things good and holy, this holy week, do not go around. You don't have to tell everybody that you're bigger than this place and you're gonna move on. If you want to share your goals with people and you want to do so in a civil manner or a positive upbeat manner, great, do that. But I mean, even though I think some goals you should maybe keep to yourself while you're working on them, but don't behave like you think you're better than people. They're all on a process just like you were on a process, and you were somewhere else before you got there and became ready to move on. So keep that in mind, and don't go around announcing that, you're about to, whatever, Beyonce on these people and just go solo, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. Don't be that person. Don't be obnoxious. So, okay, enough of that, I guess. Now we're going to get to ways you can change your scene. So let's say, you know what? Okay. Let's talk to the grown folks. Yeah, no kids should be watching my channel, even though it's a very positive channel if kids do want to watch it, but I generally talk to adults. No offense. If you are in a school, I say that because I was gonna talk about what if you're in school and you're with one circle. I kind of think it might be even easier, particularly in college, to find a new scene because there are so many people in one place. Now, you might be missing out on being a part of the popular crowd, but once you get older, you realize that doesn't really matter. Networking matters, but being, faddish and popular and all that stuff and compromising yourself to do those things, that's not gonna get you where you think it might, or where, you might hope it would, 9 times out of 10. So anyway, so the reason you shouldn't be a jerk to people because you never know who's gonna be whom, um, should you encounter them later in life. Anyway, so yeah, let's say you work two minimum wage jobs, you have no time, you work two minimum wage jobs and you're starting a business or you're going to school and you need to meet people who maybe you're going to school and you're looking for a mentor. Maybe you have a business. Same could be true if you're a business owner, looking for a mentor. Maybe you have a business and you're looking for a new business partner or you're looking for someone who knows about funding and financing or advertising and marketing. This is the other reason why I say it's important to not always be like the smartest person, the wealthiest person, the whateverest person in your circle, because you're going to need someone who's a little bit further along than you, sometimes a lot further along than you, who can impart in you their wisdom, share their resources with you, whatever the case may be. That's why you should always be moving about in circles and not like get bogged down in one place. Anyway, let's say you fit into but I there's a reason I keep saying, let's say you work two jobs and then you go to school, or and then you're working on a business, whatever. Point being, you might feel like you're stuck paying bills and working and you don't really have time to branch out. Okay, great, let's talk about that. There are ways you can network. So let's say you have an hour on weekends, or 2 hours or whatever. Are you joining meetup groups? Are you joining Facebook groups? And don't just join any group that's like, oh, hoping to promote your business and get people to buy from you. Join groups that cater to other people who are looking to build their business. Look for groups that have more accomplished people who are personable, not the people who are just like braggarts, because that's a problem a lot of times in online and in-person spaces like this. Join groups that are group led, because there are some groups that are led by an individual person, but oftentimes groups that are led by just one person, that person might be kind of type of person you don't want to solely rely on for social and networking purposes, because the group might be about bolstering their own ego. That does happen. But yeah, point being, look at the online space, look at meetup.com, look at Facebook. Eventbrite is the other one I was thinking about, eventbrite.com. It's a site that most people know what it is by now. I think, if you're buying tickets to an event, a lot of times you'll go through Eventbrite. But it also kind of lets you know what's going on. Like, you can search networking groups, study group, like whatever, realtors, business owners, whatever you're into. You could search for meetups or networking events that these groups have, or even a lot of times they'll have seminars and informational groups. Definitely go to those too, because you can meet people who are at about the same stage you are. You can go and learn from the person who's doing the presenting, but be careful, because sometimes those things are just like money making. Some of everybody's on Eventbrite, so just like be careful and kind of vet your events well, because your time is limited if you're this person I just described. Let's say you live in a small town, and nothing ever comes your way, you might feel like, or maybe you feel like everyone who's in town. Start planning. You know what? Do the Eventbrite thing or the meetup thing, because meetups, you can communicate with people online, but they typically will also schedule events that you can go to meet the same group of people, or maybe they might invite new members. But the point is, you're being around like-minded people. So like, look for that stuff in the nearest city to you and plan trips. It might be once a month, might be a few times a year, but go to these events and exchange info. Business cards are cheaper than ever to print. You can even print them at home. Even if you don't have a card, you can just, and you feel embarrassed and you're at one of these events, you can say, oh, I just ran out of all my cards, let me give you my number, or can I have your number, and you exchange numbers with your phone. That's easier than ever to do now too, and quite natural actually. Or oh well, let me give you my direct number because, you might not reach me immediately through my business number, whatever the case may be. There are ways around that, but you should get a card and just like have a basic business card made so you can pass your info out, so you can exchange cards with people and keep in touch with them. Um, Another thing to do, follow up after you meet people. So you go to these events, just like send someone an email and say, "Hey, it was great meeting you, blah blah blah. Would love to get together for lunch if you want to, or for coffee, or ask them about something that you mentioned. Oh, if you would forward me that info we talked about, I'd greatly appreciate it, blah blah blah. Let me know how I can also be assistance to you." The point is, it's not just enough to meet people in those one-off meeting situations, but also follow up to continue building the connection. So in addition to that, let's say you meet people in an online setting. Um, it might help if you reach out to that person or like tag that person in a post or something, or like comment under their comment, and then you say, "Oh, do you mind if I inbox you, or do you mind, do you have an email where I can reach you?" Don't be creepy. Don't just like slide in DMs. "Hey, I saw you over there." Like make sure you acknowledge the person and, make yourself known in a public forum, and they're more likely to talk to you privately because, this is the age of like creepos sliding in DMs and whatnot. And not everybody likes that. So, yeah, other networking ideas, if you play, just like get out and play a sport, or like go to places where the people you would like to meet would be going. If you want to get into tech, start going to tech events. It might not even be a hiring event or whatever you're looking for, but just like something that tech people would be interested in, whether it's like a launch of a new product or an information session, maybe even like certain, I don't know, movies and shows that techies watch, different interest groups. That could be something great to look into. Sports, it's easy to meet people playing tennis. I know people who play golf. I don't golf yet. Um, Although I would probably just like pretend to know what I'm doing. But I bring that up because it is a good way. A lot of people meet and network through those sports, or through, I don't know, you might do a trivia night, or join a trivia team or something like that. But the point is, and those are more social, that can turn to a way of meeting work and business contacts. But the point is, the more you get out and meet people, and the more you're strategic about where you're going and how you're meeting people, the better off you are in terms of learning about the new job opportunity that'll hopefully get you out of working those two minimum wage jobs. You might meet the hiring manager, you might meet someone that just works there, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I can help you get on. I can, let me call my manager or whatever, and set the two of you up to have an interview," like whatever the case may be. Oh yeah, even if they just tell you, "Yeah, we're looking for people," they haven't been advertising, but you met someone who works there, and now you know that they're looking for people, and now you know someone who can give you tips on how you can work there too. um Do's and don'ts of interviewing with at that place or whatever. So this can work for you whether you're in school, whether you're just like working at Popeye's Chicken or McDonald's or Burger King, whether you have like an office job and you're looking to become a plumber. Like it can work for anyone. And yeah, so I think I'm gonna make that it for this video. Just like, don't listen to other people who discourage you from broadening your horizons and getting out and networking, because it's a necessity. And if you feel like you're around a part of a group of people who can never do the right thing or whatever, first of all, that's like the biggest fallacy. And second, falsehood, whatever. And second, get out from among the people in your immediate circle, because 9 times out of 10, no offense, means your immediate circle is probably trash. If trash is all you see and trash is all you have to talk about, branch out beyond that. Stop hanging out with those people. Go, look into what you would like to do and start showing up for those events. Start looking for ways where people are organizing, or people are networking, or people are like trying to get those jobs, or whatever the case may be, trying to get the education, like the training, the licensing, whatever it is, and go do that. Like, stop the complaining and go do that. So that's all for this video. I hope it helps someone. Please do check out my other videos. Give me a like on this one if you find this advice helpful. Say hi in the comments. Subscribe to the channel. On that note, yeah, I'm gonna sign off. So take care, be well, and see you in the next video. Bye now.